Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the top-rated sports booking app in all of North America. Safe, secure, and more importantly, they are reliable. So for all of my people, though, that want to get involved, because like I said, we don't just talk about them when we talk about them. We give you a reason to talk about them. We know it's the wild card. Well, wild card just finished up, not the outcome that some of us wanted, but I'm sure there's some people that still got a little action going on. And if you are in that case, then yeah, man, DraftKings is the place that you want to be for, especially the new people out there, right? When you download the app, you use that first, or you make your first deposit of $5, man. Use the promo code MOATS. You will receive $200 in bonus bets. It's a cool concept, man. Gives you a chance to potentially get more earnings off of that thing, man. But at the same time, you can get lost in the sauce. And if that does happen, and you're in New York, it's the number that you can text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. I said a 1-800-GAMBLER.
Joker Moats, what would your game plan be for next season?
Oh, all right. I'll say it again. Yeah, to me, I'm bringing back Arthur Smith. I'm looking at TA and I have questions depending on who I could bring in. But at the same time, I still feel like I got major issues personnel wise defensively. So I'm looking at restructuring a ton of big name contracts. Yeah, I got to restructure a lot of that because I think that's the only way that's going to free up the money that I need to go get me the wide receiver that I want. I don't think there's a quarterback out there that's going to give me better play year wide than Russell Wilson based off of all these different dudes, regardless of the speculation. I don't believe in the speculation. I don't believe that guys are going to magically get better. Sam Darnold I like a lot, but it's still people that don't want to marry Sam Darnold, even with everything he did in Minnesota.
Gotta see what he does tonight.
Because they're bringing up also, hey, man, you got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison over there. You have a Kevin O'Connell. It looks like, yo, you got all this stuff going right for you, and that's what it takes for you to be good. Can you actually win it all, though, with that? Because if not, then, yeah, we're still in the exact same place. So until I could identify which quarterback I can go get, I'm going to pause and say, yo, this is my vibe this year. I'm going to get me a wide receiver that is bona fide. I don't care if I got to trade up in the draft. I don't care if I got to go trade somebody to go get him, but I have to get me a legit playmaker. And, yeah, with GP, I pray that he's all board. If not, I'm not trading GP for a cornerback. I'm not about to do the DJ for Dante Jackson thing. Nah, but I would go and get me another wide receiver that's just as nice or in that class to go ahead and replace that. But that's what I'm doing, man. From there, probably got to make some moves offensive line wise, man. And yeah, but that's my approach, man, especially defensively, man. I got to restructure a lot of that stuff on defense, man. It's too top heavy, and I don't feel like I get the same return on my investment. I can have a top 10 defense, and top 10 defense doesn't give you the same production as top 10 offense. It's the reality of it. You could be a top 15 quarterback, and that matters more than a top 5 safety. You could be a top 7 or I ain't say top 7. You could be a top 10 quarterback, and that counts more than being the best outside linebacker in the league right now. The proof is in the pudding. So to me, I got to make that money reflect that. So that's the approach I'm taking with it, man. And then from there, man, we'll see what we look like next year. And if it's still the same, then yeah, now we got bigger changes and bigger different directions and stuff like that. But that gives me even more info. And to me, that would give me enough time to fully exercise all of the stuff that I feel is warranted for Coach Tomlin. Because once again, to me, 10 wins is not bad. 10 wins is not atrocious. 10 wins is not purgatory, hell, or any other defamatory or word that we want to come up with to sell this narrative of we don't want this guy here anymore. We could just say we don't want the guy here anymore. And I think that that's an easier push than, hey, man, 10 wins is good. 10 wins is mediocre. 10 wins is average. Because the league will tell you that that is actually not the case, and it's not even close to being the case. So I can't just make a crazy move off of that. But if I could do all that stuff that I just listed out and I still get the exact same result, as much as I'm still going to look and say, yeah, you still ain't have your quarterback, by then I'm like, yo, it is what it is, man. But that's kind of my approach with it, man, because I've seen too many times this is the hot name coming out. Let's go with him. Oh, this is the new hot coach coming out. Let's go with him. And then they get to their position. Arthur Smith was one of those guys as well. And he was the hot name as the OC in Tennessee. Then he gets to Atlanta, and it's like, oh, what happened to the offense? People weren't overly critical of Atlanta when Arthur Smith was there because of the defense. No. So you got playmakers, you're not getting on the ball. You got playmakers, and they're not being productive enough. Part of that is because when you become the head guy, it's more than just scheme. It's more than just, can you draw up a fancy play? Mike McDaniel is one of the dopest dudes in terms of drawing up X's and O's stuff, but he sucks in terms of overall leadership of a team. That's why a lot of the people in the Miami situation complain about it. That's why you hear some of the, yeah, man, he don't got no control of this. I control the funds, but it just doesn't really work. You don't never hear Coach Tomlin talk like that. Why? Because he understands how to lead men. He understands how to run a organization. So that's how I would handle it. But once again, my experiences are drastically different than a lot of people's experiences. So usually that's why I'm used to being an outlier with said opinion on it. But that's how I would operate.